hat you need is with a better internet connection because
oh my goodness, it's terrible. Hopefully next week when I'm at my mom's Wi-Fi is better. So my audio is not skipping though, just my video, right?
Yeah, just your video.
Your audio is perfect.
Yeah, so if you're listening to this, it's a regular
if you're watching, you're like, but like you're still talking. Yeah.
So when I did the live with Mark, not last night, the night before, we started it off. Like I was like, can you just start it off with telling them that I'm going to very occasionally be like while I'm still talking.
Welcome back to the Riley Black Project with Crystal and John.
Hi.
Hey, so before we get to our guests, try to read.
I'm gonna do my best.
Yes. Remember how last week she said this is the worst my voice has gotten?
Surprise. Okay.
She jinxed herself.
Yep. Hey, we haven't introduced you yet.
That's
what she's saying. They can see me, right? So I'm just
not yet.
No, they can't. It's just us. You're just a voice.
See me?
No, they can't see you. Not until I introduce you. We haven't seen you yet. So you're a ghost. Shh.
You didn't hear that, guys. All right. So one new one we got is Lisa.
All right.
Thanks for joining us, Lisa.
Yes. Silos.
Yes. Robert.
No. It's
yeah, it's Carlos Robert.
Carlos Robert.
Yes, his
name.
Wait,
I'm not here. Sorry.
She's not here.
She's not
you
there.
Didn't hear that?
They don't know who it is.
They know who it is. David, Alexander, Stephanie, Kayla, Barbie, Madison, Danny, Catherine, Renee, Emily, Amanda, Keith, Josie, Mark, Kathy, MJ, Ryan, and Will.
Ooh, you got through
rough
it.
Today.
You got through it. You know what's funny?
What?
And I don't remember if his real name is Carlos or Robert.
It's Carlos.
It's Robert.
Robert is the one I gave him.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got a name this weekend.
You did?
Yeah.
What was
Tony
yours?
thought my name was Chris.
Who did?
Tony.
Who's Tony?
Isn't that his name?
Who's Tony?
Is his husband?
Tom.
He got a new name.
You just
I'm terrible with names too. Tom and Chris. We're gonna have the Tom and Chris show.
Oh my god.
Well, for those of you who haven't guessed yet, our amazing guest is Heather Lynn herself.
Hey.
Hi.
I would list from where you're from, but now the list just keeps growing and growing and growing.
Oh my god.
So
should we talk about that
we're
real quick?
I'm just gonna say Heather Lynn. Those I don't know how much can you talk about? What do you want to talk about?
I mean, so all of it's official.
I can talk about all of it now.
Yeah.
Well, you're Miss Media now.
Yeah, all the medias.
Talk to us. Tell us about
it. So, for those who don't know me, I'm Heather Lynn. I like how I say for those who don't know me because I'm pretty sure your viewers know me, right?
Yeah. I mean, unless they're new.
Unless they're new, right? So, hi, I'm Heather Lynn. I'm the owner of Libo Designs, the founder of the Glow Create laser learning platform, and my hats are I am the director of marketing operations for Lens Digital LLC, the makers of the Pi Baron Rotary, and I am the community manager for Aeon Laser USA.
Nice.
Yeah, those two are the newer ones,
right? Yes. Well, just not to take her spotlight, but I don't know. Have I announced yet that I'm officially an affiliate for Pi Baron now for Lens Digital?
I think you might have glossed over and mentioned it.
Yeah, I don't think I announced it.
Let's announce it.
Surprise!
Crystal's one of my newest affiliates on the Lens Digital side. Woo!
So if you are interested in purchasing a Pi Baron and also want to support the podcast and all that we do, you get $25 off when you use code Riley Black.
All right.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So, yay. Which I've been looking forward to, but I didn't want to. I think I got 2 affiliate credits, I guess, before I was even an affiliate, because I don't even think I sold one yet, but they heard it through the podcast. And then, I hadn't purchased one yet. And then the second one, I hadn't even taken it out of the box yet. And I was like, I know I want to sign up with them because I just love Stan and Len and everything they do with their company so much. But I also felt kind of like a fraud to be like, use my
Yeah.
affiliate code,
Yeah.
and mine's still sitting in the box.
Right.
So I was like, let me not only get it out of the box, but let me get comfortable with
using
it.
Yeah.
So it took me a little bit. My diva of a machine wanted to set me, through a loop of things because of the settings and all of that. But it wasn't Pyburn related. It was just getting my lovely Pyburn to work with my diva machine. And now I think we got the good settings, and I love it so much. I've sold a ton of tumblers already, and those are the orders that I get that I'm like, oh yeah, the mic is.
I love tumbler orders. Are the easiest things.
Right.
Give me all the tumbler orders,
except the ones where I realize I have one left of that color, and I'm like, fuck.
Or a full wrap. I don't want those either.
Yeah, I'm not there yet. I want, like, that's something I definitely want to tackle this year, but not yet. Yeah.
Hey guys, thanks for watching and listening. If you'd like to support us monetarily now or in the future, here are a few ways.
You can join us on Patreon and reach out to us to run ads on the podcast.
For only $20, by the way.
Only $20.
You could also buy a file from my Etsy shop, some keychain accessories from my website, the course to learn some file designs, or explore one of my partnerships with either Aeon or Pyburn.
Yeah, and you can find all those links on our Facebook group. That's the Riley Black Project.
Yep. To support us for $0 a month, you can share the podcast with your laser friends, subscribe to our YouTube channel, interact with our content, share, like, comments. What else?
And subscribe and leave a review on our Apple podcast. And then follow us on social media. That's Facebook and Instagram. The Riley Black Project.
Yes, we appreciate your support so much. We have big dreams of John joining us full time, and anything that you can do monetarily or for free to help us get there, we appreciate it so much.
Well, we were all in person this weekend, or a couple weeks ago.
Where?
Yeah.
Well, was it last week, right?
Well, but when this airs,
Yeah,
it'll be a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
I was like, wait, has it been a couple weeks?
No,
Right.
Did I lose weeks?
but when this airs, it will have. It would have been. Yeah.
So, in typical Black Cloud behavior,
Yes.
I got super sick right before.
Well,
But then they
we talked
know
about it
on
last
the
episode.
last podcast,
We
I
weren't
was
sure if we were going to make it.
miraculously feeling better Friday and Saturday. So I decided to go ahead and head up. And I went, I drove with Amanda and her boyfriend, Danny. And
From
that was
Cerulean Tides. Shout out.
Yeah. And that was a great time. And, thank you for letting me hitch a ride. And then Friday, we had the breakfast and the warehouse tour. So I got to meet a lot of the other new affiliates. We all had breakfast together. Mom, aka Emily, and Heather and Jamie presented a little bit. Just talked about some new perks for the affiliates and that kind of stuff. So just some more goals to reach to, if you for those.
We got to meet everyone too. That was fun. Sorry to over you.
Yeah, no.
I really liked being able to do like those round tables and put like a face to the names of people. Finally,
Yeah.
For those especially that have like profile pics that are like dogs.
Right. You're like, who are you? Yeah. Yep.
You're the Tumblr. Oh, I see now.
And then after that, we headed to the warehouse, and we got to see all of the like millions of amazing things that Danny has in the works, and like massive machines. And like one of them is literally just to move like huge, heavy sheets of steel, because it's like a loader.
Okay.
And so it has like 8 levels, and it like just has the next sheet of steel ready to load it into the machine, so that you don't have to like stop and get the like this huge piece of and then we saw the plasma cutter. It's a plasma cutter, right? The one that cut all those. And then they had this like huge bank of like these all these 3D printers like running at a time.
And they're all named after Pokemon character. Did you notice that?
They what?
Each of the 3D printers that we have in the warehouse, they each have a Pokemon character assigned to them. So
Nice.
they all have their own names.
Did you notice that we have in the warehouse? Did you know she said that?
Listen, it is we.
Yep.
It's weird now when I talk to people because I have to remember like which hat I'm wearing, like which group I'm in, because I need to make sure that like if I'm in Aeon, I'm talking about Aeon things.
Right.
Lens Digital, I'm talking about Lens Digital. And not that they don't work like that. Like Aeon sells the pipe, so like they work very well together. But I'm always like very cognizant of like who I'm speaking to, where I'm at when I'm speaking, like which job I'm speaking as.
Yeah.
The next hat you need is with a better internet connection because
oh my goodness, it's terrible. Hopefully next week when I'm at my mom's Wi-Fi is better. So my audio is not skipping though, just my video, right?
Yeah, just your video.
Just your video. Your audio is perfect.
Yeah. So if you're listening to this, it's a regular
podcast. You're watching, you're like, but like you're still talking. Yeah.
So when I did the live with Mark, not last night, the night before, we started it all. Like I was like, you just started off with telling them that I'm going to very occasionally be like while I'm still talking.
Oh my God, I might lose my voice.
That's what he was like. We're gonna start this off with listening to Heather will be fine. He's like, you may or may not catch her in a weird like frozen position.
Right. Yeah. So also at the warehouse, funny enough, Heather was taking a video of the warehouse, and I ducked out of the way.
Yeah,
to get out of her
like
video.
If you were 15.
Yeah. And my back was like, bitch, calm down. And so I felt like it literally was like, like I was like, oh shit, I done fucked up. And then I stand up and I'm like, no, I'm okay. That's fine. And then it did it like 4 more times while I was there, like just standing there. And I was like, okay. And then by the end of the warehouse tour, I'm like leaning against a rail, like outside when we were looking at all the like super cool semis that he has. And everyone's like, are you okay? And I was like, I don't think so. And I was like, but I'm going to make the best
I will be.
Right. And thankfully, I mean, everyone who was there, they're like, do you need anything? Like everyone was super, super nice. I think it was, Christine, I'm so terrible with names.
So am I. I call them Tom.
Are you talking about Christine and Trisha? Or Trish?
Yeah. So she was great. I was in your car because now I could no longer get into Danny's tall. That was hard to get in fully able. Let alone, I was like, now with my back, I was like, there's no way I'm getting into that car without ending up on the pavement, the truck without ending up on the pavement. So thankfully, I had a baby.
Did you hear her? She was like, go away.
And so thankfully they had a minivan. So I made fun of that minivan at the beginning of the warehouse tour, and then I needed that minivan at the end of the warehouse tour because
that minivan was sick. I was like, when we first picked it up at the airport, we're like, we got to the budget like rental fast break or whatever, and you just go like grab your keys, and they're like, go pick a car. So we go to Riley. Please stop. So,
Riley.
So,
that's part of.
Do you not know that that's what I was saying? So we like get to like the covered like parking structure or whatever, and the guy that we were talking to was like, grab anyone with a trunk open, and we like go and look, and Bud saw like an Expedition, I think it was, and then it was like, I think people were getting out of it, so I was, and then we turned around, there's just like 4 minivans, all different colors, and I was like, looks like we're getting a minivan, and Bud was like he was like so not okay with it, and then when we both got in and sat down, we were like, damn, we were like, it's nice in here.
So I was telling them about how you were like showing me that one truck, and how like not truck, the minivan, and how it like had a built-in vacuum and all this like fancy shit, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, there was like a straight like dining room or like end table between me and Bud, like, shelves, and like I was like, what is this? And like, now I know why people have vans.
Right.
If only they looked cooler from the outside though. Like I just needed to look cooler from the outside.
Right, exactly.
Right. There's one out there that kind of looks like an SUV.
Yeah, that's the one I was telling them about that you were showing me.
Yeah.
So I go to get in it, mind you, it's super low. And even like just lifting my leg to get into the minivan, my back was like, we're not happy. So I got in, but thankfully I was for the most part, I was okay as long as I was sitting.
Right.
So that was the good part. But that really sucked at the party because like I couldn't mingle. Like at one point, like I was literally like the purse watch, like the only one sitting at the table. I think you had either gone to go get drinks or food or I don't know what. And I was like, yeah, this sucks balls because normally I'd be walking around like talking to everybody and whatever. And
let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Well,
You'd
but
be
I
sitting
wouldn't
outside
have
in a
been
group.
I wouldn't have sat at the table by myself. I would have found someone to talk to.
Right.
And, yeah. So, yes, I do stick to my normal same people. It's nothing against you.
Make it
I
sound
just
like you're a social butterfly.
I'm not.
Well, normally I'd be talking.
If I have a lot of alcohol, I am. And then like at one point too, like Jason Dory had kind of walked past and I wanted to go talk to him, but I knew I couldn't like go up there and like stand and talk to him. And so I literally like super awkwardly was like,
come here.
and like he was like, and I had to like explain right away.
Come
I'm
here,
like,
young man.
This is like,
right. I'm like,
I have candy.
and he's like awkwardly like walking over, and I'm like, sorry, I threw my back out, so I can't come to you, but I wanted to say hi. Because I wanted to introduce myself because when we had him on, we were just audio. So it was a phone call. So I'm like, we're Crystal and John. We had you on the podcast. And he was like, oh. So then it was like less awkward. Yeah. But then people would be like, oh, we're going to take like a group picture. And I had to tell every person who said that, I'm like, okay, let me know when you have everyone rounded up because I can't do the walk to round up everyone or stand there for 20 minutes while you find everybody. I'm like, so let me know when you have everybody because I had a 5 to 10 minute window. That's what we got. And so I'm like, I'm good for the picture. And then I got to find the chair. So, and then the party was amazing. The food as always is amazing. They had a fun little photo booth thing.
The bands were great.
The bands were really good. Yeah, I was a little scared because Danny has some unique choices sometimes, but he did good. He did really good this time.
It was funny when we saw. I saw Joe Samba before the event, and then I saw him like a little bit after. And I think were you paying attention to me when he was like up there on stage? I was very consistently recording him, but it was like just me.
Right.
So, like, every time I walked up, I was like. And I would just like get like in his face with the camera and like he was like looking at me or whatever. And then like when we talked to him in the hallway the next day, me and Em ran into him when we were like getting ready to roll out because his band's room was connected to mine. So he was like, I'm gonna go check and see if the band's awake. And we were like, oh, like last night was like such a great time. Like you guys were awesome. And he was like, yeah. He's like, we provided great music for everyone to eat too.
Yeah. I know we felt bad too because
like, we were still. I was like, I don't know if you saw me, but I was at the table like rocking out like while I was
because I mean that's where I could dance easily. So I was like, I can dance.
And the food had just came out and everyone was in line.
Yeah, we all felt bad too because because like you either had to choose to eat or choose to dance, and most of us chose to eat because we were hungry. And
I was like,
I don't know how long.
Right? I was like, I'm running, I'm going, playing.
Yeah. And then I attempted to drink the pain away, and it worked ish. Towards the end of the night, I was able to dance for a little bit, or a song, my favorite song would come on. I'd dance for a couple of minutes and then go sit down. And then every once in a while, people would come up to me and they go to like pull me up from the chair because I made you bring a chair to the dance floor. And I'd be like, no, I can't. No, thank you.
No gracias.
And the MVP of the party was Aspen, I think.
She did amazing. Like, listen, if anyone knows Aspen, like Aspen, not even like the podcast, because like you know she turns it on, for the podcast and that kind of stuff, but like. Very introverted introvert. And she
not
was
at the party.
No, she was having a great, it was so And
I was gonna say we all had a blast.
Yeah.
It
She
was really fun, like at the end when like everybody, like including the staff, like I think I saw like EJ and David, like both David Tahara and David Sims were out there. Like everyone was just dancing, and I was just
having
like
an amazing.
I was like, look, I was like partners, employees, like the band. It was just like such a vibe.
It was. Yeah.
It was cool. It was cool meeting Will and Mark in person.
Right.
It was kind of weird because it felt the same. Like, I guess
familiar.
Video calls do work.
Right.
I almost tackled Will when I saw him because I was been waiting. So like Chris already met him in person, so I haven't met him in person. And I was like, as soon as I saw him from like across the room, I was like, wow! I was like,
And he showed up wearing her
hoodie.
shirt. Yeah. And I don't want to name any names, but Heather, we should talk about the like huge, like the couple huge things that happened while we were there. Huh? Don't do that face. Like, I mean, it was.
What are we talking about?
Well, we're not saying names.
Okay.
But both of them.
We were able to resolve.
Yes.
Okay.
So we were
a little bit of.
What we were talking about.
Yeah. So we were able to resolve some very, like, just awkward relationship.
It was like awkward. It was just like an unspoken, like it was just like an unresolved.
There was a little tension.
Definitely tension. And I mean, I give it to them because I wouldn't have gone up to them. I don't think unless I had a lot of alcohol.
I think that's the first thing that both of us said is like, wow, like they actually came up to us.
Right.
It was like a legit conversation, like hashed it out and
at least had an agreement going forward to like move
all
on.
Be on the same team.
Yeah, not saying like we're besties or like whatever, but like just we and we've been very professional, at least I feel, in up until this point. But just I was impressed that they were like sick of it, and because I mean we kind of were too. So I loved that, and that happened in a couple situations and like other people as well. And I
wouldn't say we came out of it with such like a team, like positive energy. Like everybody is just excited about like what's coming and how we can all work together. Like that's like not that it wasn't like that before. Like Crystal and I, like we said, like we could always lean on everyone in our affiliate families, but there's always a little bit of tension between certain people from certain incidents. So just being able to
it's so many different personalities in one space. Like it's not reasonable to expect that all of these different personalities are going to be like in love with each other. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
We all have our own space. We all have our own
backgrounds.
Our own backgrounds, our own personalities. And not all of those are going to be amazing fits for each other. But at the same time, you need to be a professional in that. And it was an amazing party, but I didn't expect the bonus of like kind of
resolving any I came out of it with friendships from people that I'd ever really spoke to like a lot. I mean, I knew who everyone was coming in, honestly. Like now, especially with being on the Aeon and the Lynn's digital teams, like I've taken a lot of time to make sure I familiarize myself with the faces that are repping our brands. But it was just like you said, there are people that we don't get a chance to speak to like on a regular basis or really like come across like in the groups and stuff. So just being able to create like a bond between the family of the affiliates was super cool. And I feel like we all left.
And that's where video and picture don't translate, because you kind of like, you need to have kind of that base and really meet someone in person and get like the in-person personality, because the one you see like typing on Facebook or the one you see on that one meeting may not necessarily like transfer over into like who they truly are. You know what I mean?
Well, because like
David's cool as shit, but like on his live, he's like very like business and like, handling like covering what he needs to cover and whatever. But like in person, he's super chill, super cool. So it's like
he was dancing with us. Like he was just, it's just fun.
Right. So you like getting that other side of people just makes it like come like full circle. And it was a great time. And then, then Saturday we left and I went back to dying. And although I feel a lot better even though my voice doesn't agree
Your voice hasn't gotten
with
there
that. No, it's my voice hasn't
Back.
hasn't joined the getting better party. And then I also found an awesome chiropractor for my back. And my back was, by the time I saw him, it was already starting to
Get better.
improve.
That's how it is.
But then I think he kind of, pushed it more in that direction. And then he told me, he's like, cool, we'll fix your back. But what I'm really worried about is your neck. So he showed me my neck x-rays compared to a
Your
normal,
neck x-rays?
normal healthy neck, and mine does not look the same. It's supposed to have a C curve, and mine has a very slight one in the opposite direction.
Mine goes like this.
Yeah,
I remember when they looked at my x-ray, my ortho was like, your neck has no curve at all. It's just like this.
so like normal is like this, and mine was basically straight but had just a little slight like the other, and I was like, okay, so it's not. All right, good to know. Yeah. So I'm gonna also just probably get a second opinion from my ortho as well, and just see what they say, because our friend Liz, she went through some neck issues, and she ended up going to only a chiro at first, and didn't realize she had something else going on as well that only an MRI could catch. So she was going to the chiro. She was feeling better every week because, adding space and stretching and all that. Well, then she ended up causing nerve damage because something, I think, was pinched or whatever. So what is he doing?
I don't know. He's sitting in front of the couch.
Our kid is home again. But yeah, so we went back for 4 days this week. And now he's off again for 2 more days. No, it's scheduled off.
You just don't like being in school for full weeks?
I guess, yeah. They went back, and yesterday was technically half day, but he's in aftercare, so he was there the full day. And then today was a planned off day, and then Monday is off as well. And then he's, I think, in there for, I think the next day off is sometime in February. But yeah.
Crazy.
What was I talking about before that?
Chiro checking, going to an ortho.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna check that out, and I mean, I guess it's finally time that I should probably be taking care of my body that's been a mess for a while. So it's been a rough, I guess this is technically our life update at this point.
Right?
It's been a rough 2023, but I'm just making sure to.
It's just getting. We're just knocking off the 2022 rust.
Yeah.
To go into fresh.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
I like how that sounds.
You like that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Just brushing.
I'm just trying to make sure that the Black Cloud doesn't know that I'm like having a good year.
Right. Yeah. Because it's been good as well. So I'm trying to like focus on the good. I thankfully, yes, I was dying right before the party. I was dying right after, but I took 2 COVID tests and they were negative.
But you don't have COVID, so that's a plus,
right? Because
I didn't
start 2022. I didn't start it, but we had COVID in January. So I was like, I swear to God, if this happens again this year,
I was like, I made it 2 damn years, like,
right? Yeah. So
it was fun.
I would have probably, there would have been tears if I would have not been able to go. Like I was really
sitting
looking
home by
forward
yourself,
to that.
Sick.
Yeah,
that would have sucked because I would have gone.
No,
by myself.
No, you wouldn't have.
Yeah.
No, because I would not be taking care of those kids on my own.
I wasn't gonna miss it. Someone had to be there to represent us. It's so fun
for you to hypothetically say that you'd go when I wouldn't let your ass leave that house.
You would have gone if you had allowed it.
Yes. I'm gonna go get milk. I'll be back. Why are you taking an overnight bag?
No. I yeeve. That's what I used to go. I yeeve. That's what I would tell Logan, because he would be like, yeeve. And I'm like, no.
It just froze on that one too. Yeeve.
Don't worry. You watch back.
I don't even watch them back anymore because I already know that I freeze the whole damn time. So whatever. I'm out of this house in a week. F the Wi-Fi.
Say though, Our 100th episode
Uh-huh.
is coming up.
Yes.
So for one, I want to give a quick shout out to Lauren, who's going to be on the podcast in February eventually. But thankfully for her anxiety, I've had to bump her twice. So I scheduled her this week when Heather was already scheduled.
Oh, double.
And it worked out perfect because it was the week after the party, so we could talk about the party. And so I messaged her and I was like, I'm a terrible person, but I have to bump you. And she was like, no, that's great because it gives me more time to like not have to, to not be on. And so then I procrastinated for like weeks messaging her because then I realized our 100th episode was scheduled on the week that I rescheduled Lauren to. And I was like, I do not want to message her again. But I had in my head, I was like, but she was very excited the last time I rescheduled her to a later date. I'm like, so hopefully she'll still be excited and not think I'm an incredibly unprofessional person. And so I messaged her. I was like, I'm so sorry, but I counted wrong.
Me again.
I need to bump you again. And she was like, yay. And I was like, oh, thank God. So she probably would have died knowing if we would have left it, that she was like the 100th episode that we're going to be like, celebration. Like, she actually injured herself this week. So she's had a rough 2023 so far. The universe was like, oh, you don't want to take a break? I'm going to make you sit your butt down. So she caught her finger on a sander.
Ooh.
And didn't need any stitches, but it's a little raw. And her husband had to buy her some finger condoms.
Ooh.
So the hard part is that even when it does feel better, she has to be really careful about dust and stuff because she does a lot of like sanding and
you get in there and
it's really messy. So she has to be careful about not getting crap in there. So Lauren,
that's what happened to Bud yesterday. Bud went to work yesterday. First thing he did is he cut his thumb on the grinder.
Oh, nice.
This is not what we need this week. Like,
right.
Time to move. I need your hands. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, he's just trying to get out of moving.
Right? I was like, did you do it on purpose? Because we're out of time.
Sorry.
Move stuff, carry stuff.
Can't. Thumb. Really important in moving.
You better get some friends then to take your place.
You better take some aspirin because you're moving those boxes with your broken thumb.
Right? Well, so let's talk about what's new with you.
Why are you moving
more new things? Yeah. 2023 likes me a lot more than 2022. About anybody that listens to us in 2022, the Black Cloud did not like me last year. But so when we went down to Florida this past weekend, me and my husband went down on Thursday instead of Friday like everyone else. And we spent Friday looking at houses, and we are officially under contract to move to a house.
Yay!
And we sell our house on Wednesday. So I am
so exciting.
It's not Wednesday, it's Thursday. I don't know why I keep saying it's Wednesday. It's Thursday.
Wednesday, Thursday, whatever. It's happening, and it's so exciting. And I remember like when you had made the decision, like you hit so many roadblocks.
Yeah.
And we still like it was hard some days, but we were still like, no, like it's happening. We would say things like, we don't know how. Because at this point right now, it doesn't seem possible. We don't know how. But
because it was like, for those watching, I'm self-employed. I work for Aeon now and Lens Digital, but at the time it was
brand new.
I was self-employed, and those are new income. So I can, in banking world, I can only use one of those because you have to show consistency. If you have two jobs,
and you had your part-time job, but they basically told you they weren't going to let you.
I'm leaving that anyway, so I wasn't ever going to use that. But they were
wanted to. It wasn't an option.
Yeah, well, they're considering letting me. That's the thing. So they were like, I was like, no, I'm leaving. Like, don't need a job. Thank you. I already have enough. Like, I have Logo, I have Glow Create, I have Aeon, I have Lens Digital. Like, I don't need my. Like, I'm leaving because I think you guys listened. For those who listened last year, I
have.
tried to quit,
Right.
and they wouldn't let me quit. They created a new position for me, which was perfect, and I super, super, super appreciate that I could stay on for another year. But I was like, I'm really leaving this time. Like this
Well,
is
and especially that was clutch when like we had no idea that the year was gonna be what it was, and like our Etsy was down, and like we were kind of like in a funk, so we weren't exactly like putting out new stuff, and so like
you have no plans to either. I'm the worst.
Well, and I mean, but 2022 was like rough as far as like, it was amazing for our business, but it was also like not the greatest for our business either.
Right.
And so her having that part-time job really like carried her through those like, where if she was self-employed, it would have.
Well, I was shockingly able to save almost all the money that I made from Place and Fire.
That's awesome.
Made off of my courses last year, which is like 6 of one, half dozen of the other. But it was awesome because we knew we were eventually moving. So being able to put money in savings and still do a job that like I enjoyed, because it wasn't like one of those jobs where I was like, God, I can't wait to get out of here. Like I hate my coworkers. I hate my job. Like, I love who I work with. I love who I work for. I love what I do. It's just, I'm phasing that out.
New phase in the Lobo world.
So now I'll be a half hour from the Aeon warehouse. I will be 2 hours from Crystal.
Yay!
Only limited because now.
Yeah, because now you are all coming. I'm trying to reel you all up there.
We literally were like looking last week.
So there's a house right down the street from you.
Mm-hmm.
There is?
Huh? Yeah, there is.
You didn't tell me.
There's a ton of houses in that area. When we went and we looked.
The first house I sent you was like down because I looked in her little nook neighborhood
first,
and there was like a house. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be good, but this is probably what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
And it was fairly reasonable. Like if we were in a place where we can like actually go and look at it and like put that probably would have
reasonably priced. Like most of the ones in the area are reasonably priced, and like I really like that area because it's like it's not like a city. It's like more rural, so it's like there's a farm at the corner with like horses and cows, and there's just like trees. My mom was so worried that we were like legit moving like onto the beach. Like she was like, "There's going to be no trees." Just palm trees and saying
you showed her your property and she's like, what
she cried. She was like, oh my God, there's trees. I was like, mother. Like, she literally started bawling. She was like, I'm so much more comfortable and excited now that there are trees. I was like, I don't know why you didn't think they were going to be trees.
Yeah, our trees don't like die.
Yeah, we have year-round greenery.
Yeah.
Well, that's what this I mean, Crystal, you've seen the property. I don't know if John has seen it, but like
online,
it's all woods. Like we're literally in the woods, just like my mom's house is right now. And like that was like, even when I pulled right up, I was like, oh my God. Like, I have a video where I'm like, oh my God, it's so freaking cute. We need to live here. Because as soon as I saw it, I was like, this is our house. It was for those who are watching, it was the first house we looked at when we went down there. We looked at 4 more for the rest of the day. None of them compared to that. We just kept going back to that one. And when we were done the day, we said, that's our house.
Right.
That's what I said about this one. When I came to see it myself.
Yep.
I was like, this one
was
feels,
the first one on the
feels
list.
like home.
Yeah.
That's exactly how it felt when we pulled up. Like I literally opened the car door and I was like,
that's going to be the hard part about when we do leave this one is because there's not a lot I don't like about this house. I do love our house. Like I love how big our bathroom is. I love how big our bedroom is. I don't like how the kitchen is closed off because that's like the only thing that's closed off.
Right.
But like the small yard that we don't have around the pool, like a couple minor things like that. But other than that, like I love the size of our living room. I love like the playroom that they have. I love the size of the kids' bedrooms.
I could do without
bathroom.
We have like a step up.
That stupid step. Yeah, that step is really annoying.
So you guys said that when I was there, that you were like, if only the step wasn't there.
Yeah. But those are like very minor things in the grand scheme of like liking a house that you are moving into. Right. And trying not to be like super picky and be like, oh, I'm not moving that damn step.
Well, that's what I was doing with this house when we pulled up, because like the in-ground pool, the concrete around it is like burnt orange, like it is orange. And I was like, why? Like, why it's like one of those things where I'm like, blank slate. See it as a blank slate. Like I can paint that shit.
There's a sealant that not only will change, you can paint it the color you want, but it also
Cools.
cools.
Yes, that's what we want. Yeah,
yes.
we were looking at
I'll
that,
send you
and
the-
it's not even really that
No,
expensive.
It's like a couple $100
It's like a couple $100 for a 5-gallon.
Really, the most
tub.
expensive part is all of the gallons of paint that you need to add to it to color it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Is your pool saltwater?
No.
So
No.
ours is. So this is
Oh.
Ooh, that's good. Is it heated? Do you have a heater?
I don't think so, but I don't know that I would want a heated pool. I really like cold pools.
You say that.
No,
You say that.
cold
Just
pools.
wait.
No, you got to remember, we have a pool up here, so I'm used to. Like,
Oh yeah.
degrees
Or
for
You're
pools. Yeah.
plunging every time you go to the pool.
Right.
The only thing that I was like educating myself on saltwater pools because they can't be below 60 or they don't produce their own chlorine.
Oh.
So I'm wondering if there is a heater tied to it or like something that like
Something
helps
at least
Right.
to keep it at 60.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it says like if it falls below 60 in your pool and your saltwater like gets that cold that you may have to shock it because the salt actually produces its own chlorine above 60 degrees, but it doesn't below. So I was like educating myself.
And like because you're central, it does get colder up there.
Yeah.
Which I'm
absolutely. Because what was it like 60? I think this weekend.
Yeah.
I had to put on my hoodie and I was so excited.
I was like, yay, I love this. Like the summers are gonna suck, but guess what? Philly summers suck too. So
John's not
at least
excited.
I'll have a beach and a pool down there.
I don't mind the I know it's not gonna snow, so I don't mind it.
Right.
It's fine. I'll take it.
Yeah.
As long as I know it's never gonna snow, I'm good.
Yeah.
What I'm not looking forward to 100% is packing all this shit and moving. I'm not looking forward to doing it.
I'm not, but like we're so ready to be out of like this neighborhood, this area. The like I want the burbs.
Yeah. And these are all coming. Like I talked to I'm not gonna name people, but I talked to pretty much a good handful of our crew.
Yeah.
They're all coming north. So.
Yeah, we're all you were the first domino. I think everyone now is gonna whoever's next is gonna cause that much more FOMO for everybody else.
Right. Yep. And I mean, worst case scenario, say it takes us a couple years.
So I hope there are plenty of
2
Aeon
hours
spots.
driving away.
Right.
I hope Eon's ready to hire everybody.
It's like me driving down the Jersey Shore from up here.
Yeah, like we could even like meet for lunch one day where she drives an hour, we drive an hour. You know what I mean? Like to be able to do like to have that flexibility.
I have to fly to you guys.
Right.
We could ping pong weekends.
Totally.
Hang out.
Listen, it's been I've been tempted because like I have like a couple friends down here and stuff, but like having like my laser bestie literally like right there, it's gonna be real hard not to be like, so are we going to see Heather this weekend? We don't have any plans. Heather, do you have any plans? We're coming over. And she'll have 2 extra guest rooms.
I won't, and JR and Logan can meet. I can't wait for JR and Logan.
I can't wait for them to meet. I feel like they better be best friends. Because
JR just better be prepared because
they're gonna be like they're both
rough.
I know, right?
I don't like
JR's gonna be like, well, Logan loves everyone. So JR if JR doesn't like Logan, we're gonna have a problem because Logan's gonna be like, why don't you want to play with me?
That's JR
too.
So they'll probably be fine because they'll want to play with each other.
Because Logan's rough though, so JR better be ready because Logan really likes to tackle people and wrestle. And
JR,
he's all about
JR's
ninja kids.
rough as
so it's gonna be a wrestling background.
Can't wait.
Next to
we went to that alpaca farm over the holidays, and the owners of the alpaca farm had a 3-year-old, or if he was 4, so Logan's 5. His name was Owen, was 4, and Logan was like, "Mom, can I go play with Owen?" And I was like, "Sure." And like we went to see the alpaca. We took him to see the alpacas, right? So like, we go to see the alpacas while he's hanging out with his new best friend. Right. And we look over, and they're literally rolling on the tennis court. Like,
oh my god!
And like I looked at the dad, and he was like, "As long as your kid's fine, my kid's fine."
Yep, they're gonna be best friends.
Nice. Well, JR tries to do that now, but to Jackson, we're like, whoa, not yet.
Still too young.
Well, and another like year
to do it, but they don't. Both of them don't know how to be careful yet, and it's gonna end up in a concussion. Right. So like,
especially with your tile floor, like it's not even like carpeted or anything.
Exactly. Yeah. So, and I mean, Jackson, he already like the joy he gets on his face when he climbs on top of somebody. He's like guiltily like. Yeah, it's so cute. So when they get older, and I'm pretty sure Jackson is going to be bigger than JR. JR better watch out because he has a lot of karma coming his way.
Maybe horizontally, but not vertically.
A
lot of people were saying-
short.
A lot of people were
saying
saying that
JR
JR
is
looks
gonna be
taller.
Yeah, but he's tall and lean, and
Yeah.
Jackson is not
No,
tall and lean. So
no, he's not too lean yet.
Yeah. You never know though, because that happens fast. Like I've
Yeah.
seen a couple like little cute chunky babies that I'm like I seen like in 6 months. And I'm like,
What?
Yeah.
like,
JR was like that.
yeah,
He was a little chunk, and then he started leaning out. So who knows? We'll see
Yep.
what happens. Yeah.
well, we might as well just finish up the life update real quick.
Well, real quick, what I did want to say about the party was
Yeah.
it was fun for the husbands to get together.
Yeah,
Because and it's funny because
you all
we-
did kind of bond a little bit. It was cute.
we get together, but we are also inadvertently in the laser world.
Right.
So it's funny when we went back to Heather's room, you know, you guys were over there talking,
About
and we were over here making fun of you guys, but actually talking kind of about it as well.
Right.
So but we were talking about the little knowledge that we knew just from you guys.
Yeah.
You guys were in depth, and we're like, man, she said that this didn't happen. Oh, that's funny because Liz said it was this
Yeah.
way, and then Bud is like, oh yeah, Heather said that. Yeah, so it's yeah,
You guys are all
It's
piecing
funny.
together
We're
like
all piecing
what
together
we
the story.
shared with
Yeah,
you guys.
yeah, and we all have our little like I found out Tom, right?
Yeah, Tom.
Okay, I didn't
Tony.
want to wrong name. Tony. Yeah,
Tony.
yeah. So Tom was.
Hey, Tony.
what's the name?
Ezekiel.
So is Bud Ezekiel?
You sure?
Well, no, but Bud is Greg.
Bud is Greg.
Because even Greg's doesn't sound like his name.
Right.
It doesn't fit him.
Yeah.
He's Bud. It doesn't fit him. But so he was telling me like how he cuts and how he uses the stuff, and I'm like, oh, well then you're not just a regular husband.
Right.
You're gonna have to get kicked out of the club.
He's actually allowed to touch the laser.
Yeah,
Right.
he's allowed to.
Yeah.
I mean, Liz feels
you're
the same
allowed
way,
to
the
touch
same way
mine
you
too.
feel when I
But
touch
no,
the laser, but
Yeah.
yeah.
No touchy, Bud. No touchy, my laser.
No.
But yeah, it was that part was fun. So I just wanted to
Yeah.
mention that.
Well,
part,
and we
the
talked to
husbands.
Tom a little bit because he's considering starting like a podcast
Yes,
and
he
wanted
is.
some like tips on how to
It
get
was
started.
just a
and,
lot of questions about how we got started.
yeah.
About he had like a lot of questions because he wants to
Yeah.
start. So yeah. Hopefully we can help him make it happen. He
Yeah.
can have his own podcast centered around the medical world.
Yeah. So quickly update people on Riley Black Media.
So well, you got a call yesterday, right? Did you talk to her yesterday?
Yeah, I talked to her. She emailed me and I called her.
Okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
we got back in touch with our accountant, Katie,
Yeah.
that was on the podcast about our LLC. So you can follow me on social media, Facebook and Instagram. The Riley, not the Riley Black, this project. Riley Black Media is the
On
handle on
Insta
Instagram and Facebook. Yep, and my email is rileyblackmedia@gmail.com.
Yeah, so it's becoming official. It's not official.
Not official.
What's your tagline? Did you
Huh?
decide? Did you
Oh yeah,
decide?
your tagline.
What did we decide? I edit so you don't have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was hard to come up with one. It was a lot harder than
Well,
we thought,
that one had a few different like ways of saying it, but that one was like the one we liked. We just didn't know how.
I like how punchy that one is, because the other ones that you said, I was like, they're a little bit like I can almost see like the I edit.
Yeah.
You don't have to. Right.
Yeah. It was very simple because like I almost the other one of the other ones was I do the editing so you don't have to, and it was like
a little long.
It's more proper,
right,
but it's not as like yeah.
So and then the tagline is basically it's what it is. From what we hear is people can record all day, but when it comes down to sit down and editing and
turning
it together
into a product
and turning it into something, that's the difficult part, because that does come with its own level of design as well, because you have to kind of what music you're gonna pick, what
learn
graphics,
the software,
the speed of like the tone of the video, which is like the timing and the speed, because if it's a cut, maybe it's fast paced, or maybe it's something a little slower because you're piecing something together.
What to cut out. Like one thing I didn't realize when you were doing my editing, how like you would leave some of my ums in there because some of them needed to be in there because of how I transitioned from one thought to another. That like if you cut out every single or it actually makes it feel like choppy or doesn't flow as well.
Right, because some of your ums you're thinking of what to say next.
Right.
And some of your are your segues and transitions.
Right.
So it's trying to piece that together.
Yeah.
Addedly, at the time, I didn't know anything about really the laser. So I didn't know what flowed with what or what didn't. But then like when you hear it, I'm like, oh wait, that 3 ago, that needs to be there.
Right.
So but again, people don't, you guys don't want to do that, which is fine. I don't mind editing. So if you need an editor, you can I'll set up a Dropbox. You send me files that way, because a lot of people also don't know like how that would work.
Right.
So basically we pick a cloud service. Dropbox is like commonly known. You upload all your video there. I download it on my side, work on it, send it back, and we'll talk that way. So just to kind of ease people's mind of, I don't know how that'll go.
Yeah.
And you can send it right through your cell phone, because that's another thing. If people are shooting on the cell phone, there's no like memory card, so there's no like file system.
Yeah.
You just send me you can have a Dropbox app and you just put it there.
Cool.
Yeah. So
it's exciting.
All your editing needs, let me know. And if you just need tips, if you feel comfortable editing or whatever, feel free to reach out and ask me, hey, there's this transition, or how do you do this, or how do I get this a little tighter or whatever.
Yeah.
I'll be happy to help you with that too.
Cool.
Are you gonna do a YouTube channel for tutorials on editing?
If that's what you want, if that's what you're looking for, I got you. if it involves video and edit, you mean for editing?
I just mean like for people who might want to like get a feel for your work, like to see like how.
So like with her course, she has her YouTube channel that has free content, but then she also has her course, which is more structured. So it might be helpful, like if you have like little tips and tricks for like the editing.
Oh, how to do it on YouTube? And put it up. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah.
Because then people will get familiar with the fact that like you have the ability to do that, and also to teach them how to do that, because they can.
Well, and then it also
maybe eventually you start one-on-one teaching how to edit.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and then because eventually, I mean, some people, a lot of us in the laser world are control freaks. Right. So some of us are gonna want.
I was gonna say like nobody will ever edit for me because I can't do it.
Right.
Can't let it go.
Have him edit for me. Like he's done it, and like the time is amazing.
Yeah, because it's very time consuming. That is one thing. It's very time consuming.
Yeah. So but yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. And if you want to see examples of the work, you can go to the Instagram, Facebook page, and also
uploading.
If you're watching this on YouTube, click around on the channel. Yeah. Because I've done a lot of the editing. If you're watching
the podcast, he did the editing.
I do the editing for the podcast.
Audio and video.
And then some of the other videos that we have up there, I edited as well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Some of Emily's latest.
Some I've collabed with Emily. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and collabing with, I think we had her on, right? All that Ash.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, we had her on. Yeah.
So my friend, Ashley, she has a makeup channel.
Right.
So we'll be working with her
shortly. So yeah,
I'm excited.
Very exciting 2023.
Yeah.
Yes.
Big things.
Yeah. Well, with that, it's been another great episode of the Riley Black Project. Chris and John.
And Heather. Bye.
And she froze.
She froze.
Nice.
Maybe we're all done.